Hey.
Hi, Amy. Hi.
Oh, wow. That is a really big hole.
A single shout cuts through the quiet of the ranch. It's Lindy's voice, small, scared, and echoing from a place no one expects. She's trapped on the rooftop, calling for help, and suddenly the peaceful morning turns into a moment of panic. This sneak peek from Heartland Season 19, Episode 7, shows us that even the calmest days at the ranch can flip in an instant. And what happens next could bring the whole family running. The scene opens with gentle wind moving across the ranch. Everything calm, almost a calm, until we hear Lindy's voice from above. She's standing on the rooftop, unsure of how she got there, and even more unsure of how to get down. Her small hands grip the edge as she calls out, trying to stay brave but clearly frightened. The moment is quick, but it hits hard. It's the kind of scene that makes your heart skip because you know how easily something small can turn into something serious. Lindy's fear feels real. She's looking around, hoping someone hears her. Maybe she thought climbing up would be fun. Maybe she was curious. But now she realizes she's stuck, and the world looks much bigger from up high. Her voice shakes, and that's when we feel the tension. Who will reach her first? Will it be Amy, who has always been quick to sense when something is wrong? Or Jack, who knows every corner of the ranch like the back of his hand? Heartland loves moments like this, moments where danger brings out the strength of family. This scene may seem small, but it carries weight. Lindy is still learning how to navigate her world, and this moment could be one that teaches her caution, trust, and courage. It could also be a moment that reminds Amy how much her daughter is growing, maybe faster than she expected. Jack might rush in with his steady, reliable calm, offering comfort and guidance in a way only he can. Whoever reaches her first, the rescue will likely be filled with emotion and that classic Heartland warmth. But the tension isn't just about danger, it's about connection. The ranch has always been a place where the family faces challenges together, and this moment shows that their bond is alive and strong. A single cry for help can pull everyone closer, reminding them that no matter how big or small the situation is, they show up for each other. That's what makes Heartland special. Even the simplest moments can reveal the deepest love. The ranch is calm again, but not for long. Jack walks across the yard with that steady, watchful look he always carries. He notices something unusual, a car door slightly open, a figure curled up inside. It's Dex, fast asleep in the front seat, looking worn out and completely lost. This moment hits differently. It's not loud or dramatic like Lindy's rooftop scare, but it holds a quiet kind of power, a moment that says more than words ever could. Jack stands there for a second, studying Dex with a mix of worry and disappointment. It's the look of a man who has lived long enough to know when someone is drifting down the wrong road. Dex wakes up slowly, confused and embarrassed, knowing he shouldn't be sleeping in his car, not on Jack's property, not when he's supposed to be rebuilding his life. The silence between them is heavy, the kind that makes you feel every mistake a little more sharply. Then Jack finally speaks, and his words are simple but strong. You might want to come up with a better life plan. That's Jack's style, tough love wrapped in a voice that cares more than it shows. He's not trying to hurt Dex. He's trying to shake him awake. Dex has been stumbling for a long time, trying to figure out where he belongs, how to start over, how to not keep falling back into old habits. And Jack knows that sometimes the truth, even when it stings, is exactly what someone needs. Dex doesn't argue. He just listens, eyes lowered, feeling the weight of Jack's message. This small exchange might be one of the turning points for him. Maybe Jack will guide him. Maybe he'll push him harder than anyone else has. Or maybe Dex will finally realize he can't keep running from his own life. Heartland often uses moments like this to show growth, slow, messy, and honest, and as Jack turns away, leaving Dex to think, there's a sense that something has shifted. Not in a dramatic way, but in the quiet, steady way Heartland is known for. It's a reminder that change doesn't always come from big events. Sometimes it starts with a simple truth, spoken by someone who refuses to give up on you. And right here, Dex might be taking his very first step towards something better. The scene shifts to something softer, but no less important. Amy stands in the heart of the ranch, calm as always, ready to help someone who needs her. This time, it's Nathan's high school Indian friend, a young man facing a fear he never expected to confront right before one of the biggest days of his life, his wedding. He wants to honor tradition by riding a horse, but the closer he gets to doing it, the more his fear takes over. His hands shake, his breath tightens, and the horse seems larger and more intimidating with every step. Amy sees all of this instantly. She has that special way of noticing what others miss, the hidden panic, the unspoken worry, the moment where someone feels small. She doesn't rush him. She doesn't push. She just steps in with her calm voice and steady presence, giving him space to breathe. She knows that fear doesn't disappear in a second. It breaks apart slowly, piece by piece, when someone feels safe enough to face it. As she guides him, we see a familiar warmth return to the ranch. Amy talks him through each movement, letting him take his time, letting him decide when he's ready. She teaches him that trust isn't something you force, it's something you build. Inch by inch, he grows braver. His breathing slows, his shoulders relax, and he looks at the horse not as a threat, but as a partner. It's a moment that goes deeper than learning to ride. It's about finding courage when the world feels too heavy. What makes this scene powerful is that it mirrors Amy's own story. Every time she helps someone else, she discovers something about herself. Every fear she helps heal reminds her of the fears she has faced. The scene isn't just about a young man learning to ride a horse, it's about Amy reconnecting with her purpose, her gift, and the emotional strength she sometimes forgets she has. By the end of the scene, there's no dramatic music, no cheering crowd, just a quiet sense of achievement. The young man sits taller, braver, and ready for the big moment ahead. And Amy, she walks away with that thoughtful look she gets when something inside her shifts. It's subtle, but real. Another reminder that healing doesn't just happen for her clients. It happens for her too. Every single time she reaches out a hand to help, the air around the ranch softens as the camera turns to an unexpected sight: Amy and Tia standing together with no anger, no tension, just a quiet calm that feels completely different from their last encounter. Not long ago, Tia's frustration boiled over when she believed Polair's sickness was Amy's fault. Their words were sharp, fueled by fear and protectiveness. But now, there's a gentler energy between them, almost like both of them have been carrying the weight of that moment. Waiting for a chance to breathe again, Tia approaches Amy slowly, not with the fire of someone ready to fight, but with the hesitation of someone who isn't sure how to start a difficult conversation. Amy doesn't back away. She stands still, open, patient. There's no pressure, no coldness, just understanding. Amy has always known that behind anger, there's usually hurt. And behind hurt, there's a story waiting to be heard. This scene doesn't explode with drama. Instead, it unfolds with quiet honesty. Tia's voice is softer as she talks, maybe apologizing, maybe explaining what she felt the day Polaris fell sick. She might admit she reacted out of fear, not facts. And Amy listens with that calm strength she's known for. She doesn't interrupt. She doesn't defend herself. She knows real healing happens when someone finally feels safe enough to speak the truth. As the conversation goes on, you can feel something shift between them. The tension that once stood heavy in the air begins to fade. Their eyes soften. Their shoulders relax. It's not forgiveness shouted out loud, it's forgiveness shown in body language, in tone, in the silence that no longer feels uncomfortable. It's two people choosing understanding over pride. This moment matters because Heartland has always been about relationships learning to bend instead of break. It shows that conflict doesn't have to end in a fight. It can end in growth. Amy and Tia are both strong, both passionate, both protective of the horses they love. And maybe this episode is where they finally recognize that they're not enemies, they're two people who care in different ways. By the time their conversation ends, nothing big or flashy happens. There's no dramatic hug, no sudden emotional breakdown. Instead, there's a simple feeling of peace, like a quiet door has opened between them. A door that may lead to cooperation, respect, and maybe even friendship. It's a reminder that sometimes the most powerful moments aren't the loud ones, they're the moments where two people choose to understand each other. As the scenes of episode 7 begin to connect, A quiet pattern starts to appear, one that ties every moment together, from Lindy's rooftop scare to Jack's tough love and Amy's gentle guidance. It becomes clear that this episode is built around something deeper than simple ranch drama. It's about healing. It's about finding strength after fear. And most of all, it's about the second chances that Heartland always seems to offer to those who need them most. The ranch has always been a place where people come to face the truth they've been avoiding. It's not loud or flashy. Healing here happens in small steps. A child learning what danger really feels like. A struggling man finally hearing the words he's needed to hear. A young groom to be learning courage. And two women finding peace after a painful misunderstanding. Each moment is quiet on its own, but together, they create a powerful message. Life doesn't get better in a single big moment. It gets better through many small ones. Lindy's fear on the rooftop reminds us how quickly life can shift and how important it is to have people who rush to your side without hesitation. Jack's moment with Dex shows that honesty, even when it hurts, is sometimes the greatest gift one person can offer another. Amy working with Nathan's friend reveals how healing often begins with trust, especially when fear stands in the way. And Amy's soft conversation with Tia proves that forgiveness can bloom even after hurtful words. What makes this episode so special is how it connects these stories without forcing them together. They flow naturally, because that's how life works at Heartland. Every character faces something different, yet every challenge leads to the same place. Growth, a new understanding, a gentle push in a better direction. The ranch doesn't promise perfect days, it promises the chance to face whatever comes with courage, love, and support. And maybe that's the real heart of episode 7. It shows us that healing doesn't just happen in the barn or in the fields, it happens in the quiet spaces between people. In the moments when someone chooses to forgive, chooses to trust, or chooses to try again. These small choices are the threads that hold the Heartland family together. And in this episode, those threads shine brighter than ever. As episode 7 moves toward its final moments, one thing becomes clear: nothing in Heartland ever happens without leaving behind a trail of questions. Not the stressful kind, but the kind that make you want to lean in closer, think a little deeper, and wonder how each character's choices will shape the episodes to come. This sneak peek doesn't just show us scenes, it opens doors. Quiet doors. Emotional doors. Doors that make us ask what might happen next. Lindy's rooftop scare leaves us wondering how this moment will affect her. Will it make her more cautious, or will it spark a new sense of curiosity and independence? She's at an age where every experience becomes a lesson, and this one may bring Amy and Jack closer as they try to guide her with love instead of fear. One small moment could shape how Lindy sees the world for weeks or even months to come. With Dex, the questions run even deeper. Jack's blunt warning wasn't just a throwaway line. It was a mirror held up to Dex's life, a mirror he can't ignore anymore. Will he take Jack's words seriously? Will he finally start building something stable for himself? Or will we see him fall again before he finds his footing? Heartland loves characters who struggle, because struggle makes growth so much more meaningful. Dex could be on the edge of a major turning point, or another setback, and the suspense is part of the journey. Then there's Amy's emotional path. Helping Nathan's friend wasn't just another job, it was a reflection of her own healing. Every time she connects with someone's fear, she reconnects with her own strength. But where does that lead her next? Will this moment unlock something she's been holding back? Will it open her heart to new possibilities, or remind her of wounds she still carries? Amy's stories are never simple, they're layered, delicate, and deeply human. And finally, the biggest emotional question, Amy and Tia. Their quiet conversation in this episode might be the beginning of forgiveness, but forgiveness doesn't erase everything overnight. Will they rebuild trust completely? Will they learn to work together in the future? Or will their relationship stay fragile, easily shaken by the next misunderstanding? Heartland is known for slow, meaningful growth, and this moment could be the seed of a new dynamic between them. These questions don't demand quick answers. They're meant to live with us as we wait for the full episode. They remind us why Heartland continues to pull viewers in after so many seasons. It's not just the horses or the ranch or the scenery, it's the people, the stories, the feeling that every episode gives us something to care about, something to hope for, something to feel. As the sneak peek ends, the ranch grows quiet again, but the conversation is just beginning. Heartland has always been more than a show you watch. It's a story you feel, a world you step into, a place where every viewer sees a piece of themselves in the characters. And episode 7 leaves behind a trail of emotional clues that only true fans can piece together. This is where your voice matters, because the biggest questions now sit in your hands. What do you think Lindy's scare will mean for her? She's growing up fast, learning about bravery and caution at the same time. Do you think this moment will bring her even closer to Amy? Or will it be Jack who becomes the steady hand she relies on after this frightening experience? Every fan sees Lindy from a different angle, and your view might be the one that makes the most sense. And then there's Dex. Heartland fans know that characters like Dex rarely have a straight, easy path. His journey is messy, real, and unpredictable. After Jack's serious warning, what do you think Dex will do next? Will he finally take control of his life? Or do you think he still has more struggles ahead before he finds his place? Your thoughts could spark conversations that other fans never even considered. Now think about Amy. Her quiet strength carries so much weight. Helping someone face their fear always changes her too, even if she doesn't say it aloud. What do you think this moment unlocked for her? Could this be a step toward her own healing? Or maybe a shift in how she sees her future? Fans always have powerful insights into Amy's emotional arc, and your perspective could be the missing piece. And the biggest question, Amy and Tia, after everything, do you believe they can truly rebuild trust? Can two strong, passionate women move past hurt and misunderstandings to form something new? Maybe a working partnership, or even a friendship? Or do you think their connection will stay delicate, easily shaken by the next challenge? Heartland's relationships are never simple, and that's what makes your thoughts so important. This is the moment where the story shifts from the screen to you. Your theories, your hopes, your guesses, they all become part of the Heartland experience. So share them. Dive into the comments. Tell the world what you believe episode 7 is leading toward. Because the ranch may be quiet now, but the conversation doesn't have to be. And sometimes the best part of Heartland is hearing what the fans think will happen next. And as all these moments settle in your mind, the danger, the emotions, the quiet healing, there's one last takeaway episode 7 leaves behind. Stories like this don't end when the trailer fades out. They stay with you. They make you think long after the video is over. That's the magic of Heartland. It gives you something to feel, something to hold on to, and something to look forward to. And if this sneak peek is any sign, the next episode isn't just another chapter, it's a turning point. So before you scroll away, take a second to breathe in everything this episode is hinting at. Lindy's moment of fear, Jack's hard truth, Amy's gentle strength, and the fragile peace forming between her and Tia, all of it is building towards something bigger, something emotional, something worth waiting for. This isn't just another week at the ranch. This feels like the start of a shift, the kind of shift that changes characters in small ways that matter later. Heartland has never been about big explosions. It's about quiet steps that lead to big changes, and that's exactly what episode 7 promises. Now it's your turn to help shape the journey. Your reactions, your theories, your comments, they aren't just noise. They build a community, a place where Heartland fans gather to share what they feel, what they fear, and what they hope happens next. Every like, every comment, every share keeps the conversation alive and keeps the ranch's story moving forward. That's why your voice matters here. So if you want more sneak peeks, more breakdowns, more emotional dives into the stories we love, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to stay right here with us as we unpack every episode of season 19, tap subscribe. And if you know another Heartland fan who lives for these moments just like you do, share this video with them. Let them join the conversation too. The ranch is big enough for everyone, because at the end of the day, Heartland isn't just a show, it's a place we come back to. And the journey doesn't stop here. Not for Amy, not for Lindy, not for Dex or Tia, and definitely not for you. Stay close, because there's so much more ahead, and you won't want to miss a single moment of it.